The count family has 3 members. Count, count A, count blank. So we'll start with count. It only, I'll write here only, count numbers, count A, numbers and alphanumeric. So anything A, B, C, anything is counted. Then count blank. This is only blanks. So let's try this. Equal to count, and let's start counting from here. So if you look at Excel, it is saying there are 13 elements in here. So 1 to 13. If you hit enter, it will give you only 12. Why? Because one element in this range is alphanumeric, or it's a text. Alphanumeric means it's a text. Text, it could be at the rate 0, 0 dot, 0 comma, 1 comma, backslash, any special characters which is associated with a number, it makes it alphanumeric. And these special characters by themselves are all alphanumeric, including your ABCD. So when you count them, you get only 12 because this one is not counted by the word count. So let's say count A. When you look at count A, you'll get the number 13 because count A can count numbers as well as alphanumerics. Now, when you want to count blank, select this area. You'll see 0 blanks. Why it is 0? Because there are no blanks. So let's put a blank for sake of working. So as soon as we put a blank, you will get a number 1, and the above 2 numbers automatically decreases. If you look at count, from 12 it has become 11. If you look at count A, from 13 it has become 12. So that way we can use count, count A and count blank. Now, then somewhere you have to work which are negative changes in percentages, which would be something like this. And this happens a lot of time when you are talking about changes in sales or something. I wrote 6%, but it has come as 0. Why this has come as 0? Because this cell has been formatted as a number. You see, it is formatted as a number. So I'll come here, or you can just hit this percentage sign. By default, everything is formatted as journal. So let's say this is minus 2.3%. Now, if you're trying to find the percentage change, what will happen? You normally, what we do, current year value divided by the last year minus 1. You'll get minus 138 and something percentage. So if you do not want things to get into minus, you can use ABS. What I used in the formula was this. If A changes to B, we normally write the formula as B minus A by A. This can be simplified for Excel, or your thing, you can write B by A minus A by A, which effectively turn into B by A minus 1. So in Excel, if you use B by A minus 1, it becomes easy for you, because if you are using B minus A, you have to put B minus A into bracket. Because if you don't put into bracket, this happens like this. Excel will read it like this. So you have to put this into parentheses, or you can use B by A minus 1. So if you want to put this as a positive number, you can use the absolute, ABS and the number. But not used very often, but absolute helps you out in getting the negative out, or mod function that we have in maths. Modulus of anything turns into a positive number. Same thing runs in here. Now comes 2 important functions. Now don't think max and min are not that important. They are very important when you go to computational finance. When we talk about payoff diagrams in the finance, when we go into derivatives, this min max are the basic backbone of creating the payoffs using Excel. So all what we are seeing, they might look small, but when they are converted or when they are mixed with a bigger function in the UDF, they become very big. For example, we might have to find the name of the person who is getting this 87 marks in maths. The question will be who got 87 marks in maths. So here we'll have the max combined with a VLOOKUP or index match to get the answer done. So that way these functions are important. Please do practice. In the sense, if you know, you can just leave them. They're very simple. But if you have not worked on it, please do practice, because going forward, what we'll be needing them all. Now, let's come to this large and small. What is the importance of these two functions? What does large do? It finds the largest number at a particular position. Say first largest is found by max and the smallest is found by min. What if you need to find something in between? Like you have a data of employees who have done certain revenues, or their rankings are there based on tests and things. You want to find who's at the 5th place or who's at the 6th place. Then your large and small will come into picture. So how do we use large? Equal to large. First part is same as max. It's a array. Array is a group of cells which are called together. So I'll say, let's say max. This is my array. Why am I writing? I can just call this up. Math, comma. It says K. What does this K denote? K is the position that you need to find. Now let's say I want the 5th position, the 5th largest number in maths, and hit enter. You will get it as 64. Now what if I say give me the 3rd largest? Again, you have to open the bracket, come inside, remove this and write 3. Now what if you need to create an application which takes these numbers from a cell? This kind of formula is known as static formula. Why do we call them static? Because every time I have to make change, I have to go inside the formula and make the change. If I need to find the 7th largest, I have to go inside the formula, F2 inside the formula, remove the 3 and write the 7 there. So these kind of formulas we'll avoid making in our day-to-day life. We'll try and make everything as far as possible into dynamic. So when we say dynamic, we'll not have anything like this. If you look at here in the formula, you'll see this is a manual entry, which we are changing again and again. We can reduce this manual entry by referring it to a cell. So which means large, the array, comma, instead of writing K manually, I'll link this K to a particular cell. Let's say this cell. Currently this cell is empty, so I'll not get any right answer. I'll get a num error. Num error is happening because I am referring to K to a position which is blank. So let us put some number here. Let's put a number 5. We'll get 64. Let's put a number 8. We'll get 60. So as and when we are changing this number, this output is automatically changing. So we don't have to go inside the formula to get this change. So this is what we call it as dynamic formulas. Now what we are going to do in all the cases that we will be working on, try and make formula as dynamic as possible, so that when we change one parameter, the entire formula gets updated. And you can start doing this from this formula itself. The only thing I did was I referred to this formula, the position, to this particular cell instead of writing it manually. So whenever the cell value is changing, the value of my formula is automatically changing. A simple example of how we can make dynamic formulas. So in your work life, avoid creating formulas which are linked to, or which are hard code inputted, manually inputted. Try and make formulas which are more of dynamic in nature. Now let's create